Being an entrepreneur can be one of the most difficult and frustrating activities that most people could ever partake in. Yet the fascinating thing is it truly doesn't have to be. The rewards for being an entrepreneur are absolutely worth it when you make it through. Having time to spend with your family, unlimited income, never checking in on a clock. I've been an entrepreneur for almost 20 years of my life, and I've recognized I could never have it any other way. Like you, I'm psychologically unemployable, so I could never work for anyone else. Yet for the majority of the people in the world, and especially the ones that I work with, being an entrepreneur is one of the most frustrating activities for whatever reason, feeling like you're never going to get ahead. Like there's tons of bricks. You feel like you know what you need to do. You're passionate, you're excited, you want to make it work, but for whatever reason, it feels like something is holding you back, whether you feel stuck or the next level is impossible to get to. So I don't know where you're at in your life or what's going on with you right now, and I definitely don't know you personally yet. I'm excited to get a chance to meet you, but I do want to tell you in the next 30 minutes, as part of this video, you're going to learn a few very simple things that you can do to lower the level of frustration, learn how to get to the next level, set yourself up for success, and by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what actions that you need to take next to start getting your business to do more of what it is that you want. Now, you would think this day and age, being in the world right now, you're watching this video, being an entrepreneur should be easier than ever. There's unlimited things on Google you can look up. Everyone from Elon Musk is releasing how they do it. There's biographies on people. Years ago, you had to get in your car, drive to the library. Hundreds of years ago, you had to find that one person that was successful in town to succeed. Now you just Google how to be successful in business, and millions of things come up. So this video, unlike the majority of videos out there, is not going to share with you the next tactic on how to do pixels to get ahead on Facebook marketing. It's not going to share with you how to develop a funnel or automate your business or how to hire or how to fire. It's going to work on the part of you that really is going to allow your business to work. Because as an entrepreneur, it really comes down to you and I. It's that frustrating thing that our families and friends and people that are not entrepreneurs don't understand. They don't get it. It's up to us. And if we're not working on our business, the business typically doesn't have the opportunity to grow. So when I start meeting with entrepreneurs, typically the thing they say to me is, Michael, one of two things. They say, Michael, I'm feeling stuck. And I typically ask them, where are you stuck? And in what area of your business or what area of your life? Or they say to me, Michael, I'm doing well. I'm doing okay. But for some reason, getting to the next level, it seems like it's impossible. So I know for myself, when I first got started in business, I was fired up, I was excited, and I had a relatively decent success when I first got started. But for whatever reason, I would get to a level in business and I would stay there for a long period of time, and I would push and I would want to go, and I'd ask and I'd go and I'd push. And the majority of the time I'd get burned out back in the day. I'd want to make it to the next level, but for some reason I got burned out. Because I was doing what most people do. I was stuck. I wanted to get to the next level, but I was taking next level actions and I was doing next level pushing. I was trying to do what a lot of people talk about, 10xing what's going on. And it's the majority of the advice out on the web. Instead of doing a next level mindset to get to where it is that I truly desire to go. So that's truly what this video is about, is really how to develop a mindset. I'm not talking about positive thinking, how to uncover that at a simple, specific time in your business endeavors, you made a decision that you probably didn't even know that you made, set a trigger in your unconscious mind that has set you on a navigation course to get about what you have, give or take 10 or 15% more, one way or the other, instead of getting you the life that you truly desire. You and I both know that you're capable of more. Your business can do amazing things. You got a product, you got a service, you got an opportunity, something that you do that if you got it out to the world has the opportunity to make a masterful impact. But how do you get yourself to literally get out there and do that? So I know if you're watching this video right now, you've probably searching the web and you're looking for something like this. I've learned for years, I think this is the biggest challenge these days. It's everybody's looking for the hack or looking for the plan. Now I want you to look at this word for a second. This is what most people are after in life. They're after developing a plan, because you know that if you could just follow the plan that everybody else did, if you could follow how they succeeded, then you'll do it. If I could just read a book as a biography. Now, granted, I highly recommend reading people's books, getting the mindset of those successful people. But just because that plan worked for someone else does not mean it's going to work for you, because you've tried other people's plans. It's not about plans. It's about doing something very, very different. Let's backtrack a little bit. I've had the opportunity to not just research and work with hundreds of thousands of entrepreneurs. I've had the opportunity to work with the most high-level military professionals in the world, people part of the Navy SEALs and Delta Force, people in the movie business, professional athletes I've worked with, MMA fighters that I've worked with. And one of the things that I've recognized is it's all about something different than a plan. Because I know for a fact, if I came to your house right now, I could find little notepads. I promise you, I could find little legal pads like this with plans of things you should do, people you should call. If you would just call them, you'd get ahead in your business. You have plans on how to save money to get ahead or lower your taxes. There's books you have that you could read on how to better relationships, ways to lose weight. You have a gazillion plans in your life. You probably have a plan of the old VHS tapes in your house on how to lose weight or, work out more effectively. But just because you have a plan doesn't mean you're doing anything with it. I want to start a little bit prior and talk about what got you started when you first started your business. You wouldn't have a business right now if you didn't first do this. You didn't start with a plan. You did what all entrepreneurs do. You got yourself to do a little something called take action. Now, I know when I first got started, I took action. Any book out there that teaches you to make plan first, it's a wonderful idea, but not for an entrepreneur. We'll save that for schools. But learning how to get yourself to take action. You may be thinking to yourself like, Michael, but I'm already an action taker. I'm busy. I'm busy doing this. I'm busy doing that. I'm handling customer service. I'm handling people. I'm doing sales. I'm making websites. I'm doing everything. Oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. The actions I'm talking about are not the actions you're already taking. Of course you're busy. Of course you're making things happen. Of course you're overloaded, overwhelmed with what you've got going on. The actions I'm talking about is how do you get yourself to actually take the actions that are going to make a difference in your life? Wouldn't it be amazing if you were actually taking the actions to finally get that campaign going? To take the actions to finally get that book, or the actions that would get you over those little bit of fears that you have, whether it's doing a presentation or firing that person you need to, or having the courage to up the payroll to hire that person you need, or the courage to finally do that marketing campaign. If you would do it, it would make the biggest difference in the world. So what I learned by studying these Navy SEALs and working with so many of them is they always say that the greatest plans that we ever came up with military-wise were written in blood. Unfortunately, they're based on actions that were taken that didn't work. Once we found out what didn't work, we didn't do that anymore. But the real success, what everybody's truly after, and I don't know who I read this from, whether it was Jobs or Bezos or Elon Musk, it doesn't matter who they are. Any of those three would be a great person to hear it from, is they said, once you take action and you have the ability to create the masterful thing called momentum. Think about this for a second. Imagine having momentum in your life. All great military plans, all great business plans are based on once we find something that works and you start getting consistent momentum in your life, those are the times that you start making a plan that allows your business to grow the way you want it to be. So instead of looking at this video as, what do I need to do next? The real question is, how do I become a person that takes action, builds momentum, and then develops a plan? And at the end of this is something else I'm going to share with you a little bit later on, a very simple word that starts with an R, that once you get that little word over there, it's got a chance to change everything for you. So how do you get yourself to take new actions? How do you get yourself to become more effective? How do you become a person that starts doing the things that really matter? Because if I looked at your day and I watched you, I guarantee I'd find things inside of your business that you're doing on a regular basis that aren't making you money. They're frustrating the hell out of you. They're wasting your time, and they're not helping you get what you want very quickly. So in order to make that possible, I'm going to ask you a very simple question. If you hired a consultant, I do consulting for a lot of companies. They hire me, they bring me in, I answer questions. Typically, I could find things that aren't working for you that once I find them in your life, once I find them in your business, these little things that I find, whether it's one-on-one with a person or in a group setting, these little things are just like little ahas or little things I notice, distinctions that I recognize, have an opportunity to make the biggest difference for people. So one of the questions I have to ask you is, if I followed you or you hired a consultant for about a week or two, to follow you, or you were being, cameraed. I'm in my building right now. You had cameras, like Big Brother was watching you for a couple of weeks, and they were watching you, and they had an opportunity to give you a report on the things you do, how you live your business, how you live your life. What would they truly say about how you do your business? Now I'm going to go first, and then I'm going to have you answer the question back. You can answer it, and I know that we can't see each other right now, but I'm going to ask you to answer it out loud, to think about it, answer it in here, and think about it throughout the day. Very, very important question. So when I think about that for myself, and I'd say, Michael, He is extremely effective at what he does. He's phenomenal at getting people to change, at getting results for people. He helps hundreds of thousands of people every year, all the great stuff, because a consultant's not going to beat you up. They're not going to say you're an idiot. Only you're going to say you're an idiot. You're going to tell yourself that. I would never call you that. Okay, only you're going to beat yourself up. I'm going to say that things like, hey, like for me, totally capable, could be doing more than they're doing, but for some reason isn't as organized as he needs to be, or could put an even more effective plan in place. There's always room to grow for all people. So my question for you is, if you were to think about this, if this was question number one that I was going to ask you is, how would an outsider, a consultant, or me see you and how you run your life? What's fascinating about it, especially if we talk about your business, I'd probably see capable of more, extremely passionate, wonderfully caring person, an awesome human being, but for some reason holds back, doesn't follow through at the level they need, doing things they shouldn't be doing. And they'd give you a list. And once you had that list, you would then know how to get what it is that you want. Now, you may be thinking, Michael, I get it. I'm going to write down what I'm not doing, what I am doing, and then I'm going to go take action. I really wish it was that easy. But for the majority of human beings, the ability to take conscious action, I've been teaching this for almost 17 years right now, to countless human beings all over the world, the ability to get yourself to actually do and to take action is easier said than done. There's a science and a psychology that is very important to override the conscious mind, to get into the unconscious mind, to start to make it automatic. Because you and I both know living the way you live is a pretty automatic thing. I mean, you wake up in the morning, or let's just say even before you go to bed at night. Like, imagine this for a second. You're about to go to bed and you put a list of goals out. You grab a pen and paper and you jot down some goals of things you're going to do. Tomorrow, I'm going to call Bob the prospect. I'm going to put an ad out there to hire somebody. I'm going to get my marketing going, build out my YouTube channel, make a blog, position myself differently, find a way to get a branding person, hire this person, do that, call the legal department, whatever it is you're going to do. And you put a big plan of who it is and what it is you're going to do. And you get excited about it. And metaphorically, you put it next to your bed and you look at it. And before you go to bed that night, you wash your face, get ready for bed, you brush your teeth, you say your prayers, do whatever it is you do. And you take your script of who you were today. And you take that script of like who you've been being for the last days, weeks, months, and years, and you put that on your nightstand, typically right on top of what you could do tomorrow. And the first question you ask, and this is a rapport question number one, is when you wake up in the morning is, hey, who can I be today? And the first thing you see on the nightstand is, who was I yesterday? Not being able to override who you were yesterday is the majority of our challenges in the world. So the first question is, how would an outsider see you? Once you located that question and you know the answer to that question, how would an outsider see you? It's time to do something different. What I got to figure out is question number two is, how did you get here? Now, this is an interesting thing. Most people like Simon Sinek talk about you got to know your why. I am very interested in the how. How you got to be who it is you are that does what you do automatically is an amazing thing. I solved this in my life masterfully about 5 years ago when I first started teaching this material. I've had so many people, countless, that I've shared this with. And in a few minutes, you're going to understand clearly the program that you need to override. And if you do not override this, you're going to miss something really big. And it's a very pivotal moment you're going to recognize for yourself. Now, the how you got here question is a very, very fascinating one. I want you to think back for your original reason for going into business. And so many people give the thought of like, I just want to share my product with the world, or I went into business because I just wanted to make money. I want you to think even deeper than that. My original reason for going into business is very simple. I wanted freedom and I wanted to get ahead. I wanted to share this message with the world. And in about 5 years into business, when I started realizing I was struggling, I recognized something very interesting, that I had achieved what it is that I wanted. I had freedom. I had my own business. I was surviving in my business and I was sharing my message with the world, but I was not where I wanted to be economically, definitely not time-wise in my business. So you know what I did? That same strategy my parents taught me when I was a kid. Great parents, but they were not entrepreneurs. And you know what they taught me? Work hard, be a good person. So I busted my ass. I worked harder. I was a good person and I pushed and I pushed. And I finally got a multi-million-dollar business, struggling my ass off, hard as can be. And I was like holding it together with like little pieces of the puzzle. And it wasn't until a few years later, that I recognized something that I'm going to share with you right now. That my original reason for going into business, deeper than the things that I wanted, was all I wanted right off the bat was freedom and survival. So what I realized is I was building my entire business on survival. I was building my entire business on having freedom. So I had freedom and I was surviving. And I was making decisions. Like I remember I was going to get a brand new Tesla and I could buy it cash. And what I realized, I could hear my dad's voice inside of my head. I'd wake up in the middle of the night before I bought it. And it's like, I'd hear my dad's voice in the head. Are you sure you want to do that? And I'm like worried about it. And the reason I'm worried about it is like, if I do this, am I going to survive? And I realized I bought the car and it's on my second one right now. But the reason I'm bringing this up is for years, I dedicated my business to surviving. Let me ask you that question. What is your business based on? For most people, it's on proving a point, showing somebody you can do it. Think about it this way. You had an ex-boyfriend or husband or wife and you wanted to show them you can do it. So here you are 5 years later trying to prove a point. That's not a way to build a business, to prove a point or survival or to get ahead or just to share something with people. What if your business was about something bigger? See, I know for a fact how, you got started. We have to have the ability to override that inside of our brains and start to come up with a very, very different reason for getting what it is you want. This is your automatic program. So for years, I'd get up, I'd survive. I'd make decisions in my business that were stupid for me. I'd avoid things I needed to do. And the reason I did this, until I learned this, how to override this, I didn't understand. So the real question you've got to ask is question number 3. I'm going to put it in black so you can see it very, very clearly. Question number 3 is, if this was solved, because if you look back, it is solved. You've survived. You're here. You've proven your point. You have freedom. You're doing the things that you're doing. Congratulations. Maybe it's time to pat yourself on the back. You're doing better than you realize you're doing. Biggest challenge, you believe in yourself and you're strong, but it's not about being strong right now. It's about being courageous to ask yourself a difficult question. Instead of focusing on how you got here, better question to ask is, what would you like your business to be about? See, I look at it this way. If you were to stand in the position right now and say to yourself, like I'd say to myself, Michael, if you've already solved this, what would you like to make your business about today? The majority of people in the world, the reason you don't have what you want is you haven't had the opportunity to update your reason for doing what it is you do. You haven't done it. You're passionate, you're excited, you're sweating because you're drowning in a passion puddle. You're sweating because you're excited, you're spitting because you're excited, you're sweating because you're nervous, but you're drowning in passion. You don't build a business out of passion. You build it to do something powerful. Again, you go back to Bezos and you go back to Steve Jobs. What they wanted to do is build a business that changed the world, but they're after something bigger. What if your business was about this? Getting ahead. What if it was about profit? What if it was about being bigger than it was the year before? What if it was about making progress? What if it wasn't just about getting the bills paid and survival? What if your business was about something bigger? So think about it this way. What if getting what you want, all it meant was changing the direction of what it is that you focus on? And the majority of us are out there is we're focused on just doing what? You're focused on getting by. You're focused on building something instead of going out there and making your business be what you want it to be. Imagine the bank called tomorrow and said, we are going to take back all your loans. You're going to owe us everything on the credit cards. You are going to immediately be out of business unless you give us a bigger reason why you're doing this, updated based on today. And I'm going to tell you, my biggest thing came out of this. It wasn't just being a profitable company, but it was building a business that made a difference in the world, that was committed to the quality of people's lives, that helped entrepreneurs make life easier, and it helped them take those difficult patterns they have in business and help them get ahead. For me, at the beginning, it was survival. Now it's making a difference in your life, helping you get where you want to go. We all got to get through those parts. So how do you do that? How do you change that? Well, once you figure this very basic thing out, I've got to ask you a very simple coaching question. And the question is very basic. I'm going to draw a little something like a little line here right now. I can, almost looks like anything between a martini glass or almost like a upside down peace sign. And I want to imagine that the 3 sections of your life were up here on this board. And if you were to think, what are the most valuable assets that you have going into tomorrow, going into next month, going into next year? Most people are going to say things like, most valuable asset you have is your money. When it comes to your business, very, very important. You're going to say your valuable asset is your family, and this is the personal stuff, the health, Okay. And you're going to say maybe your skills and your operations and your stuff, right? Like these are the things you know how to do. You own your photography business or your real estate agent, your understandings of the way the world works in the business, right? So you've got these three things. And imagine a terrorist showed up at your house tomorrow, or just a bad person showed up and said, you need to give me one of these three things. I need one of them right now. Gun to your head, said, you got to give me one of these three things. What's interesting is within seconds, you would hand over your money, you would hand over your house, you would hand over the majority of things that you work for. Isn't it fascinating? You spend 90% of your waking time worrying, thinking about to produce your business and your money, and within 2 seconds, you would give it away. Imagine that for a second, really thinking about that. The biggest focus you have in your life is how do you get ahead in your business? How do you make more money? And what's fascinating is you would give that away in 2 seconds. You know this to be true. You're not giving your health away. You're not turning over your family. Even though you can't stand sometimes, people that are related to your in-laws might drive you nuts. You're not giving them away. Then imagine the terrorist came back one more time and said, I didn't get what I wanted. You're either going to have to give up your family and health or the skills and things you're good at. I mean, your family may drive you nuts. Your health is something that is super important. So even though your family drives you nuts, it's bye-bye skills, bye-bye business, bye-bye all the things I do. We spend the majority of our lives, the time, the things that we do, working to make money, get good at our skills, and within 2 seconds, somebody asks you for it, you'd give it away. It's your family, your health is really what we're after in our business. And for me, one of the biggest reasons that I do what I do is I never have to miss one of my kids' games. I never have to miss my daughter's figure skating. I get to go visit my daughter at college when I choose. I have the opportunity to spend time with my family, go to lunch with my wife in the middle of the day, doing the things I want. So the real question you have to ask is, what do you want your business to do for you? This is a model. I don't know what health and family, whatever that is for you, but what do you want your business to do for you? Imagine this. Imagine you have a mirror in front of you. Like imagine this is blank right now. And this is a mirror. And in that mirror is you, because obviously it's you in a mirror. And this is something I do with our coaching clients. I want you to imagine you're looking in a mirror and it's you 5 years from now. And you got a little grin on your face, that shit-eating grin you have like, I did it. And you look at that person, they look happier. They don't look any older than you look now. They look happier, they look healthier, they're smiling more, and they're really, really enjoying life quite a bit. And I want you to imagine, if you got to close your eyes, you can do that while you're watching this right now. And I want you to imagine you're looking at that person who's you 5 years from now. And they're looking back and saying, all you've got to do is take a step, a few of them, maybe 5, and you can be where it is that I am. And you think to yourself, is it really true? Well, it's you telling you this. It's you from the future, sharing this with you. But at the same time, you look behind you. And I want you to imagine there's another mirror, like where that glass is right there. And it's you 5 years from now, but looking exactly like you look today. A little more frustrated, a little more tired, a little more that you're automatically doing the same thing you already do, but you haven't changed your protocol and what it is you do. Person's burned out. You know that's where you're headed if you don't make changes. So you look over here at the exciting one. This is who you could be. And then you look back here. And then the question is, they're both 5 steps. Do you go back to what it is that you're already doing? Or do you move towards what it is that you want? Now imagine you took 1 step and you're 4 steps closer. Or you took another step and you're 3 steps closer. Took another step and you're 2. Take 1 more step and you're 1 step away. And the person says to you, come here. I can help you get what you want, but you've got to let me help you. See, you already know the majority of things you need to do. But what needs to happen is you're going to need some help making it easier for you. The reason you make business complicated is that's how you do it. You've been doing it for so long this way because for whatever reason, when you got started, most entrepreneurs, they get off on the idea that when it's hard and it's difficult, it's valuable. I'm here to share with you business could be easy. It could be fun. It could be enjoyable. It is going to be some work, but it could be super fun, super easy, super enjoyable. But you're going to have to do it in a way that works. I feel that the biggest challenge out there in the entire personal development space for most people is you watch a video like this, you listen to a podcast, you go to a seminar, you go to an event, and you get fired up. You get the dopamine rushing in your brain, you get super excited. But for whatever reason afterwards, no one's holding you accountable for taking action. So as soon as the dopamine, the excitement wears off, you're back where it is that you started. I realized this almost 20 years ago, and I said to myself, I've got to find a way to do something about it. Find a way to get people like you real, lasting change that makes your business grow, your life grow, your health grow, your relationships grow. Because being an entrepreneur is not just about making money. It's making your life work the way you want it to. And in that time, I developed something very, very simple. I developed something that doesn't require you to travel, doesn't require you to make a very large investment, doesn't require you to even leave your house. It doesn't require you to do anything other than be committed to helping yourself get where it is that you want to go. And it's all based on this very, very simple word that I call action. I realize that I'm asking you to take one step. I've taken 20 years of steps with hundreds of thousands of people, but the biggest step you've got to take is to trust yourself and ask yourself, do you want to stay where it is you're at, or do you want to get where it is that you truly want to go in the shortest time possible? I invented a little program, and it's only little because it's like working with me for an entire day spread out amongst 5 days. Imagine working directly with me, kicking your butt, holding your hand, working on your life, your business, your relationships, your communication. You and I working together, a couple hours here, a couple hours there over about a 5-day period. Starts on a Sunday, ends on a Thursday. I've been running this program since 2003. It's a little something called Call to Action. Let me tell you a little about what happens for you when you register for Call to Action. It's 5 days of working directly with me. Instantly when you register, and there's a button on this page, so I'm going to tell you that the only thing stopping you from getting where you want to go is a simple little word called you're going to have to decide. Do you want to take the step, or do you want to stay where it is that you're at? It's all going to come down to a decision. There's a button on this page, and you're going to be very happy when you click it and you make a decision to do this. Call to Action is designed for someone like you that says, I want more. You're going to register in the program. Our company is going to give you a quick phone call. We'll get on the phone for a couple of minutes, and we're going to find out exactly what you want to get out of the program, how we can help you, what you're working on, and share with you. And typically, the challenges most people have, it's not a business issue. It's something psychological, something that if we could shift in a second, boom, has the ability to change everything. You're going to learn what makes you do what you do, what makes other people do what they do. Imagine from a marketing and a business perspective, you're going to know psychologically what I have learned after working with almost 1 million people, what makes them do what they do, what makes you do what you do, and uncover that in your business and your marketing and your sales. You're also going to learn how to get out of your comfort zone. I have so many clients that I've worked with over the years that have had the opportunity to learn how to get out of their comfort zone and start doing the things they really want to do, showing up in their relationships, showing up in their business, finally investing in the things they need to do, getting the videos done they knew they needed to get done, getting the blog and having the courage to finally get the marketing the way they need it to be in their business. Absolutely incredible. On top of that, running races, getting out there, running Toastmasters chapters. It's incredible. Quitting habits that you shouldn't be having in your life, because at the end of the day, an entrepreneur introduces you to yourself. You learn what you're good at and what you're not good at very quickly. You're also going to learn how to put a real plan together after we develop 3 days of momentum. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to introduce you to the 10 skills that once you uncover what they are, there's about 10 skills that every successful entrepreneur has. And we're going to teach you how to, almost like in the Matrix, download those immediately so you can start using them in your life. Now, I'm not a cheap date. Typically, if you want to work with me, I'm about $25,000 to work with for about 6 hours of my time. Here's about 10 hours of working with me at a fraction of that. So the way the program works is normally Call to Action is $599. $599 to increase your confidence. $599 for you to increase your communication. $599 for you to become more effective. $599 for you to be less frustrated. $599 to understand yourself. $599 is cheaper than going to a therapist for 2 sessions in most major cities in the world. But what I decided to do for today, to help all of you out while you're watching this, because it's not cheap to be an entrepreneur, it's challenging from time to time, is I know this is an investment and we have not met yet. So what I want to offer you is a little something called a fast start bonus. If you want to get $200 off, all you got to do is click the link right away for the next 30 minutes, right down below. Click that little link on this page, find it wherever it is, that link, click it immediately. You're going to get a $200 savings. Use it for a sushi dinner, use it for some ads, put it in the bank, reinvest it, do whatever you want. Call to Action is $399 for you today, $399. And because I reward people for making a decision while you're watching this video, if you can click that link before this video is over, you're going to see something populate on the screen on the next page. I'm going to be offering you the ability to get access to something that's huge. We're going to be giving you immediately, right away, a little something called Core Confidence. And what Core Confidence is, you're going to get access to the confidence audio sets that are made with little thing called binaural beats. 7 minutes in the morning, 7 minutes at night. Increase your confidence while you're getting the kids ready to school in the morning or doing your things, packing lunches, and 7 minutes at night. You don't have to do anything but listen to the background. We have found so many people increase their confidence, get more done, feel more productive. It really just juices you, and you're going to get access to that immediately. I'm also going to give you access to something. It's a $250 value. It's a little something that we call the Persuasion 1 hour. It's 1 hour of it's really about 90 minutes. So it's not really an hour, it's about 90 minutes, an audio that you can listen to right away that's going to help you increase your influence, your persuasion, your sales ability, your marketing, little techniques that you can use right away to affect your bottom line. Because at the end of the day, the first thing you should be thinking is, how do I get my money back? How do I do this? It isn't just about growing your business, it's about growing you effectively. And the last thing I'm going to throw in as part of this offer, and this is not something we always do, you're going to get access to one of our accountability partners. Someone from our company is going to be calling you within 48 hours. You click the link, you register. They're going to call you within 48 hours, and they're going to find out what you want to get out of the program, how it works, how they can help you. We run this program every single month since 2003. Every 2 to 3 weeks, there's a program coming up, and you can access the next available one. I'll be jumping on a lot of the calls. You get an opportunity to work with me at some point. But at the end of the day, the real question is, are you willing to get what you want? I learned from one of my mentors a long time ago. Most people don't understand the difference between a purchase and an investment. I'll give you a quick little story that'll help you with your business and your life. You can even teach this to your kids as you're making your decision right now. A purchase is like getting a Starbucks coffee. But if you go and buy a Starbucks coffee, you get happiness, a 45-minute high, you get a little energy. And after 45 minutes to an hour, you got some coffee breath, the high wears off, and that is a little something called a purchase. You could buy something, it's a one-time use, and it's a purchase. What an investment is something very different. I want you to imagine you went down to your local bank, Bank of America, Bank of Argentina, wherever it is. I have clients all over the world, Bank of Brazil, Chase Bank, whatever it is. And you went down to the bank and you said to them, what do you got for investments? And there's a big sign up front that says CDs, certificates of deposit, 10% return. How fast would you stop doing your business today, pull all the money out of one account, yank it over 10% return guaranteed every year? You and I both know every 8 years you double your money. You would put 20, 30, 50,000 bucks, you'd move over to that. You'd be so excited about 10%. Think about that. How excited would you be about that 10%? What call to action is a little something called a growth investment. It's investing in you. If all you're looking for is a 10% return, you're making my job very easy. 10% more happiness, 10% more quality of life, 10% better understanding, 10% better relationship with your kids, 10% stopping habits that you shouldn't be doing. Easy, simple, not a problem. If all you're after is money, you got the wrong guy. Find one of the other bozos online to teach you how to just make money. But if you want to make your business work in the way you want it to work, I can help you. A growth investment is about getting thousands of percent return. By the end of the 5-day period, knowing exactly what it is you need to do next, understanding what makes you work, what makes you tick, how to get yourself to take actions consistently. I feel that most entrepreneurs, when they went down to start their business, get a business license, get a website, they should stop most people and say, do you know what it takes to succeed? Do you have it? Take a blood test and find out, do you have it in you? I know you have it in you. You know you have it in you. But the biggest question that I realize is most entrepreneurs, you're confident, but you lack the confidence to let somebody help you. Reaching out my hand and saying, I want to help you. Click the link on this page, enroll in call to action, make a decision, do it quickly, get the bonuses, save the 200 bucks, but most importantly, do it for you, do it for your family, do it for your future. How many more days do you want being frustrated, making business difficult? For me, it's not difficult anymore. Business is something that I just do. There's things that are challenging I deal with in my day, but the day-to-day frustrations, the feeling of stuck, it's dissipated because I learned very simply a long time ago how to get myself to take action, build momentum on a regular basis, and I want to share with you exactly how to do that. And I'm excited to share it with you, and I'm excited to be part of it. Click the link, enroll in call to action. I'm excited to work with you directly, and I'm excited to see your replies. I'm excited to see on Facebook. I'm excited to see the excitement things that you do. But most importantly, do you believe in you? to take action. I know that if you're still watching this right now, you're looking for something, register for a call to action. I'm excited to have the opportunity to work with you. And remember this, being stuck is a choice. Getting to the next level is a choice. Which do you choose? I'm going to give you next level mindset. I'm going to teach you the psychological triggers to make people be effective. And I'm going to show you how to get what it is you want. You make the move. I'll make 50. You make 1. Go.
So if I had to talk to myself 3.5 years ago, and if in that moment I didn't make that choice to do the call to action and gone through this whole transformative process, because that's what it was, I don't know that I'd be alive today, to be very honest with you. I mean, at the weight that I was and everything that I was doing, and how I was literally going through all this in my personal life and my business, and it was really so difficult. I can't even tell you that I would be alive today. So I hope it's not that bad for someone who's on the fence. I don't wish that on anybody, but I'm just saying, if Michael can make such a dramatic change in my life, which I would say was really screwed up at that time, although on the outside it looked okay. If you just have one little thing you need to change about yourself, why wouldn't you do that? Because no matter what, you're going to come out better, you're going to feel stronger, and you're going to be able to do whatever it is that you want. And that's the one thing that Michael does put in you. We all feel it, we all know it. There isn't anything we can't do if we want it.
Well, Michael's clearly a passionate individual, and that's something for me personally that I've always wanted to work on. It's an experience where you change in a lot of different ways. You learn a lot about yourself. I've clearly, as an individual, I just have a better understanding of who I am, and just an awareness, a heightened awareness of what's going on, both in my own head, which I find empowering, reducing my internal resistance I have towards things. I'm a pretty pragmatic individual, and Michael is really teaching me to be more creative, to really sort of act from my gut, which I feel is what I need to really get to that next level and reach my true potential.
Michael has a unique talent that probably is less than the 0.001% in the world. And that's an ability to help every single individual improve, find what's holding them back personally, professionally, family, or whatever it is, and not just figure it out, but then also teach you how to fix it. And he's not going to fix it for you. He can, but it's a whole lot more powerful if he can teach you how to fix it yourself.
Within the first probably 5 minutes, I knew that I could trust him. And I knew that this was going to be different than any other experience I've ever experienced. There was something about him. I knew that he had something that I didn't yet. And that was something that I really liked. He sucked me into this realm. I don't even know. And he wasn't even specifically talking directly to me, but I was 100% feeling like he was talking directly to me. I've been able to use and implement the tools that Michael has been able to teach me. I can go around it. I can jump over. I can get a rope and swing over that fire now, because I've been able to learn through the tools and the teachings that he's been able to teach, to be able to push myself a little bit harder, a little bit further. I'm no longer that girl anymore. I am this woman, and I am pushing forward, and I know how to do it.
From experience with Michael, my life has gotten better. The people around me's life has gotten better. And the people that I associate myself, their lives get better. And they all look at me saying, what do you do? What are you doing? How do you get, they're just blown away how I get here.
My wife's now involved. My brother's doing call to action. Any opportunity I get to talk about this experience is great. And most people typically come to me because they see that I'm changing, and they kind of want to know about why that is. And it's because of this experience I've gone through.